Hello everyone, thank you for joining us today for the web seminar Concept Focus, Maximize Concept Appeal with the Next Generation of Concept Optimization. Our featured speaker is Brendan Light from BuzzBack Market Research. Please feel free to ask questions throughout the webinar and we will reserve time at the end of the presentation to answer any of them. We'll try to get to as many questions as possible during the Q&A portion. Now about today's featured speaker. Brendan has been leading research development and best practices for BuzzBack, with recent recognition by the Advertising Research Foundation as a Great Mind winner for innovation. In addition to continually improving the quality of the quantitative and qualitative methodologies and analytics of BuzzBack's research offerings, he pioneered BuzzBack's award-winning and patent-pending e-collage and verbatim viewer technology, and leads a broad team of feature development and research strategy for BuzzBack. He continues to focus on leveraging the transformative powers of the Internet to evolve respondent engagement, operational efficiency, and visualization of analytics and insights. His latest project, Concept Focus, was recently announced as a finalist in the MRS ASC Effectiveness in Technology Award for 2010. He has over 15 years of client and research supplier side experience, having also served as Research Director for Gray Interactive and as the Global Director of Ipsos ASI Interactive. With that said, I'd like to hand over the presentation to Brendan Light.
Thank you so much. Thank you everybody for joining us today. We're going to try and keep this as brief as possible and hit on the major points for you, but if you do have any questions, please let us know at the end of the presentation. We are going to be talking today about Concept Focus, which is our new concept highlighting application we've developed. So just a little bit of context in terms of how we go about developing applications and the types of applications we do and why we do them is BuzzBack is a company that focuses on diagnostics over key metrics, not instead of key metrics, but as an augment to the traditional data that you collect. And so we've developed a number of tools that really try and get at pulling more insights out of respondents than you can get in a traditional flat survey experience. Not only are the applications we develop focus on being innovative within market research, but where we focus in for our clients is in their innovation as well. And so we focus on a lot of different types of research, but today what we're going to talk specifically about is concept optimization. The types of concepts that we evaluate cover a pretty broad spectrum in terms of the nature of the stimulus that's given to us. Sometimes they are very, very text heavy, sometimes even text exclusive, sometimes heavy in a wide variety of formats with a wide variety of content that goes in them between packaging and product and marketing materials. And so it's important for us to be able to evaluate all these different types of stimuli. So the basic question is, why do we need a new approach to concept optimization? For us, it comes from doing over 10 years of concept research and finding that we continually want more information on how do we actually improve these concepts, not just getting a read on how good or how bad are they. For instance, the concept we're going to be showing you today, when we tested it in traditional venue, that what we discovered was the key metrics came back and told us for the most part not a whole lot of statistical differences from our benchmark that we use for testing the concept. And where we do see the issues with statistical difference, what we don't understand is how are they better or worse? Why are they better or worse? What can we do to improve on the places where the benchmark is outperforming our stimulus? In addition, when we ask people, what we see on the slide on the right here is we asked people to tell us what they liked about the concept. And all we got was playback from a third of people was literally just the two main key points that were already in the concept. So we didn't get any insight in terms of how to actually evolve the concept for our client. In a nutshell, what it basically means is standard testing just does not give us the depth that we need to give insightful commentary on where do we go from here. So, lighting tool to help us get at some of this better depth and specificity that we need to give our clients direction and specific direction This is the first application we've built that we were not the first to market for the type of application we're building. There are a handful of applications already out there. And what really drove us more than anything to go ahead and develop our own version of a highlighting tool was the fact that our clients were coming to us and telling us they've tried all the other ones in the market and they all fell very, very short of expectations. Plenty of trial, hardly any repeat. And the reason was that clients needed a whole lot out of these applications and simply were not getting met on all various criteria. And those elements really focus around two areas. There is what is the application as the respondent goes through, and at least as importantly, it is the ability to get meaningful data out of the tool. So when we went about developing our own application, it was crucial to us that we plug every hole missing across all of the applications that are already in the market. So what we're introducing today is the result of all of these efforts that we've been working on for the past year in developing this tool, and we call it Concept Focus, because what it really does is allow you to focus in on specific elements within your concepts and get feedback on it. So what I'm going to do now is run a few brief videos and explain how this tool works. So we'll first start with the project setup, and this will really demonstrate how very flexible this application is. This gets plugged into any survey, so it's not a standalone application. It fits in with the broader survey, but it has its own proprietary setup, so that we can go in and designate things such as, if we have a multiple screen experience, do we carry across on multiple pages what you marked up before? Do we want to have a time limit in the application? You may have some types of stimulus that you want to limit exposure to 30 seconds or 5 minutes, and you can pick how long you want to allow respondents to view it, or you can leave it open-ended. We generally say 60 minutes is the longest we would want anybody. If you're spending more than that, probably you've stopped paying attention. But we can configure that per project. Beyond that, we actually go into setting up each of those individual pages, and there's over 20 tools that are immediately available and more that we can add for any page. So our page instructions is where we define basically our question text. And so for this screen, we're going to tell people to use the tools that we're going to designate for this screen to assign things as being either appealing or unappealing within the concept. We do believe in having soft requirements in terms of minimum. We have a certain number of answers we'd like people to give. We're not going to force them to give it, so we give them basically a nag reminder if they don't hit the minimum we want. If they don't have anything more they want to add, we allow them to move on. All of the tools in the application have custom default settings within them that if we don't go in and change the editing, we can launch right into the tool. But you can open them up and redesignate any of these fields to be whatever you want for a project. So if you're in a market that culturally red means positive rather than negative, we can change that. And we can change what happens when you mouse over the tool in terms of what it says, designate the number of markups we'd like, but then attached to each of those highlights that you make, we can have an open-end or a single-punch or a multi-punch question getting feedback in terms of why do you dislike this. And that text can be customized as well per tool that we apply within the project. We can have as many or a few tools per screen as we'd like. We then can have a desired minimum word count that we want. So if it's an open-end, well, we'd like people to give at least 5 words or 10 words. And if we don't really have a care, we'll leave it at 0. So now I'm going to show is what actually the respondents see within the tool. So we start off with general instructions. I give them a heads up, what's going to be happening on this page, what we'd like them to do, how it's a different tool. And then we load into the stimulus. And from there, respondents can go in and pick our text highlighter tool to go and select text. And with that, they can select it down to the letter. And that's a crucial distinguishing factor from other tools that are out there that make you pre-designate going into the tool basically arbitrary chunks of content that if somebody didn't want to pick that entire paragraph but only wanted to highlight New Ricola, they could. But a lot of tools make you pick that entire paragraph at once. Ours is down to the letter. Respondents can pick at the letter to the letter that they want, what specific text they want. And that's crucial because it often is a part of a paragraph rather than the whole paragraph that people want to give feedback on. And again, we can see here people are able, they go in their own order, like